Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Everyone say hi to Danielle.
Hi.
We have a request from Aaron. So everyone thank Aaron for this. This is part one of how many parts? I don't know yet. But this is part one of an interview. This is what Aaron has to say about this interview with Niall, the lovely Niall. Aaron says, I'm requesting a reaction to Niall's interview on Unfiltered with Olly Dugmore. You ever heard of Olly Dugmore?
I have not.
No, neither have I. Well, this is fairly recent, Danielle. It's from June 2023, so just a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was done just prior to the release of his third album, The Show. We've done some songs, performances from that album. Great album. Not all of them yet, I don't think, but most of the album. Here we go. Unfiltered with Joe. Unfiltered Joe.
Because right now.
Hello, and welcome to Unfiltered. My name is Olly Dugmore, and my guest today is a musician. Born in Mullingar, Ireland in 1993, his life was normal. By the age of 16, he was one of the most famous people in the world. Part of the biggest boy band since the Beatles, One Direction.
We've said that.
Reflecting on that moment, he said, "My childhood was cut short. I never really got the chance to finish school. After the first audition, I packed up everything in my life in a bag. I didn't realise at the time that when I was stuffing clothes into a little suitcase, that was pretty much me leaving home for good." His dad says he went to that audition and never came back.
Ooh.
My guest today is Niall Horan.
Okay, it's quite the intro. Well written. Well done.
Aww.
Mr.
It's
Olly.
kind of sad, though. Like, it's good, but it's sad. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a catch-22. You sort of lose that childhood. But you know what's funny? Looking back, when I was 16, I mean, sure, I was 16 in a normal teenage life. I might pack it all in to be a multi-millionaire celebrity. I'm sorry, like it's we all make sacrifices. His sacrifice, yeah, his childhood was cut short, but boy, he fast-tracked to a life of fun and hard work, but talent and fun. And
I left when I was 17, so I would have.
There you go.
Yeah, I would have done it too.
If you look at the artwork behind Niall there, it goes around the studio. I think if I'm to look at that correctly, that is wave, W-A-V-E. Yeah, waveforms. Like that's what the audio looks like when you edit podcasts. Yeah. Clever. Yeah. I wonder if that's actually from a certain podcast that the podcast host is proud of. You know what I mean? So maybe his first interview or something. Yeah.
Oh, maybe, eh? Never know.
How's it going, pal?
Hello. Hello, Olly. That was a hell of an intro.
You reckon?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
We're off to a cracking start.
The vibes are just immaculate.
Yeah, we should just leave it there.
We'll stop. Job done. What have you been up to? What have you been up to the last few days? How you keeping?
Good, yeah. I just got into Dublin today, doing the rounds on the promotional run. I got an album coming out in June, so I'm doing all the bits and pieces for that and doing a bit around Europe and it's just been busy.
Gearing up for tour, and I think your sort of summer live festival debut is on the way as well.
Yeah, I played my first festival ever in May.
Big moves.
Yeah, and then
how you feeling about it?
So what do you think of his darker hair? What do you think of that?
Well, I like it. I think didn't he have this same hair when he did that chicken wing interview?
I think he had the chicken wing was the darker hair too.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the blonde hair for him. Yeah. I think he looks much better with this hair. I'm assuming this is his natural hair.
Probably his natural color.
Yeah, I would
say so. Yeah. Very handsome fellow.
Yes, he is very
good. No, I can't wait because I love a festival myself. I love going to them. I love the idea of like walking past the stage, seeing a band that you've never seen before, half cut.
Yeah. And then convincing that person to stay and listen to your music.
Yeah, so that's going to be my challenge. There will be people there that know exactly who I am and will be fans, I'd imagine, down towards the barrier. And then hopefully the idea is to get a few more drunken lads on the way to get a burger or something. That's the aim.
And that'll be your third album. I tried to sort of do the numbers on what you've sold since going solo. I could only find the American ones are like very reliable, but it was like...
It's tough to find sales now because it's just a different world we live in. A lot of the figures that people do use is not so much sales as like Spotify downloads or Spotify plays. Seems to be the new, I wouldn't say the new brag sheet, because back in the day, like of course when I was a kid, like Thriller sold 100 million albums, but you don't hear those numbers anymore. Now it's 100 million streams or a billion streams or plays, right? But yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what they talk about here regarding physical copy sales.
6.5 million copies, I think, sold in the States.
Oh, that's good.
Went solo.
That's pretty good.
Really, really impressive. How are you finding the experience of?
That's what I mean. Those numbers are really good because, again, people often. I admit I don't buy very many physical media anymore. I do. I have an Apple Music account, or I also have a YouTube Music account. So I just kind of stream. I admit I stream music too for the ease of doing so.
Yeah. I don't buy music. It's all on Spotify.
Yeah.
For me.
Writing your own songs and sort of having that full creative control, I'm guessing, really fulfilling.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like I've got a good record label where I get left to it, so I kind of I tell them when I'm finished, kind of thing, which is from what I gather quite rare. But I've always been quite lucky. I just kind of disappeared there for a year.
Again, I've said this before, but the idea that the fact that he even mentions that it's quite rare for a record company to leave the artist alone.
Oh, yeah.
What a weird concept, though. Imagine you're a painter. Just say you're making art, you're a painter, and you have somebody over your shoulder. Don't use that color for the mountainscape. Oh, come on. Like, that's what record companies do with some of these artists. They tell them
what to do.
What a weird, isn't that the purpose of having an artist on your label? Did you hire them for I don't know.
Nah.
If I really was a record label, I think the only thing I would try to mitigate or control is obviously, stay away from, hate speech type music, like that kind of stuff. But other than that, whatever I signed you up for a reason. I signed you up for the label to showcase whatever creative juice you want to do. Right.
Yeah.
Here, 18 months, get in the studio, get the head down. And then in November last year, I just went, okay, here, record label, it's yours now. And then they set it all up and we go for it. But it's exciting. It's an album that I spent a lot of time on. I think you can hear this. When you I don't know if you can hear it, but you can tell. I can hear time in some people's records. Like when I listen to music, it's like they definitely thought about that. They took their time over it. They stewed on it, and I feel like I can hear that in this stuff, and I'm really excited for it. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Not rushed.
That's important.
Which ties into, we actually have an interview that we're going to do with Zayn later this month, at the time it's recording. We talked about with Zayn, his last album took him 6 years to do. And I feel like that's probably his best composition album. It's his most personal because he wasn't rushed. He did it his way. And I think if you leave an artist, let them percolate. I know you want to make money, record companies, but yeah. Is there an album that you've listened to recently, or a band that you felt maybe their last album was rushed, or felt a little bit?
No, I don't think I've ever really listened to albums. Like for way back in the day when I was younger, I had CDs.
Yeah.
But then my teenage years, I wasn't buying CDs. I was LimeWiring that shit.
LimeWire.
I was giving viruses to my parents' computers. That's how I was doing it. Yep, waiting 6 hours for one damn song.
Song. So funny.
Yep.
So funny. I'm just trying to think of. Well, I don't definitely want to call it any artist. But I definitely have heard over the years albums where I'm like, that doesn't sound like the love a band has shown previous albums. There's some albums where you feel like, doesn't feel the same.
Yeah, well, it's the same. It can be said the same as what I've noticed in the Marvel movies and stuff. It used to take a couple years. You'd be waiting,
right.
You know what I mean? And now it's just boom, 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 down your throat, down your throat, down your throat. And it's like, oh my gosh. And it's like, there's no humor anymore. It feels forced. Everything feels forced, doesn't feel natural. So I get what they're saying, that would be the same kind of thing with music. I don't listen to albums, so I can't really speak on it, but
that's fair.
I can.
Okay,
yeah,
that's fair. All right. Oops, I lost where's my? Sorry, I had a tab open. I lost us. Just wait 1 second. I got so many tabs that I operate. Here. I know. There we are. We're over here. Okay, sorry about that.
That's brilliant. So, as with all of our guests on Unfiltered, this is a show about how the events of your life made you the person that you are today.
There we go. Well, biography.
It seems. Well, let's begin at the beginning, which I think is always sensible.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's a good way to go. So, born in Mullingar.
Yeah.
My only common reference point for that is the Rubber Bandit song, Horse Outside, at the end.
It does get references, doesn't it?
So, I mean,
interesting.
tell me about Mullingar. What's good?
Small market type town, very typical Irish looking town, kind of working class. 30 at the time there was probably 35,000 people.
Oh,
It's probably
small.
a lot bigger now, I'm sure. These towns seem to get wider and wider.
I love it.
Every year.
I love the idea of a small town.
Yeah, just a very small working class town in the smack bang in the middle of Ireland. Parents, my mother worked at a Mullingar Pewter, which is like a crafts, Irish crafts place, and my dad worked in Tesco for 35 years, and and then they divorced when I was 4 or 5.
Oh, must be bad. I don't know if I knew that.
And then I kind of jumped between houses, and
How was that for you? Because 4 or 5, you're kind of... Can you remember it? First
yeah,
of all?
I can remember it happening, but obviously not really knowing what the hell was going on.
Yeah,
right.
But yeah, I think being that young, I didn't know enough about it for to affect me.
I was just gonna say there's a divorce is never good for anyone, right? In the sense, like, nobody marries to get divorced. There's a reason why it happens, but for kids, it's almost better when they're a little bit younger. It's because it's just the world they know. Oh, mom and dad don't live together. They don't know that you ever were together. They don't think of those terms. They're just, oh, this is my life. Mom lives here, dad lives here. They both love me. Hopefully, that's the idea, right? So,
My parents divorced when I was a year old, so I don't even.
So it was just the life you knew.
Yep,
Yeah, for better, for worse.
for better.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah, I mean, sometimes divorce is necessary for the peace of the home, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, you think.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
I'm so affected. But it is one of those things. I'm still so young and not like impressionable at that point. So it's I'm completely good.
Yeah, it happened to me. My parents split when I was about 10, and so I was more conscious of kind of the relationship between them and how you can kind of end up, I guess, as a bit of a pawn. Not saying this happened to me, but you can kind of, as a child, feel a bit like responsible. And if I make this decision because it's more convenient for me, am I upsetting one of my parents?
Exactly.
But then as you get older, you kind of become more independent compared to your mates because you're only being surveilled by one adult
Correct.
instead of 2. So you've got to get away with a bit more as well.
That's very, very true. Christmas is a tough one.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it depends, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes you get 2 sets of gifts sometimes. You go to daddy's house for Christmas, you go to mommy's house for Christmas. And often they can already have another partner, so you get double the gifts sometimes. All right.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was like this year I'm here and this year I'm there. And you know what I mean? Yeah. That's how it was for me anyway.
2 Christmas dinners.
Yeah, but jumping between is just a pain.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
going there this year. I'm going there next year. It's
There you go.
Yeah.
I was just
Rotas.
forever pleasing. But it kind of gotten to the point now where it just happens.
Do you remember the first time you performed? Not necessarily musically, but the first bit of performance.
Not musically, but the first time you performed in bed. What's he talking? What do you mean first time you performed? Well, I was 12 years old and I got a Sears catalog, man.
Sears catalog.
Sears catalog.
That seems to be a general theme. That is not the first time I've heard that.
Well, for men of my age, when we were young, we didn't have the internet, and I didn't. My dad didn't have a stash. Some dads did. My dad did not. So it was the Sears catalog. Yeah, bra section. Oh, it's terrible. It's absolutely horrible.
Gotta use what you gotta use, right?
You got it. Yeah.
Christ. I was probably like this the choir teacher at school in our little, like, I went to a primary school of about 200 or 300 kids, tiny little like rural school, and there was a woman in there, Anne Caulfield, and she was one of my teachers, and she also played piano and did all the choir stuff at Christmas carols and all that stuff. And she kind of heard me sing one day, and then had me like sing, solos and some of these little Christmassy things. And then she got me to play Oliver in the production of Oliver Twist.
Can I have some more, sir?
I was about 7.
Can I have a little bit more porridge? A little bit more stew? I'm starving, sir. Isn't that the one? Every time we do our stupid British accents.
Can I have some more?
Can I have some more? I'm starving over here.
I think it was 7 or 8 probably. And that was like my first playing a lead role at that young, in such a big role like Oliver or whatever. So that was probably the first thing I can really remember.
Did you ever perform in a play, school play, speaking part? Do you recall?
No big speaking parts, but yeah, I was in a few. And I was in musicals and choir and all that stuff. I loved it. I think my favorite one, I was in high school and we did kind of a musical of like, it was just like a kind of like a play, but a musical play of Austin Powers.
What?
It was really funny. It was awesome because I loved Austin Powers.
Oh yeah, it's a funny. I've just never seen it as a school play before.
Yeah, we were like running through the audience kind of thing. We were doing a bunch of stuff. It was basically the beginning of the first Austin Powers, like that kind of whole sequence.
The dance routine.
Yep, it was literally like that. So,
but you didn't do like a, fook me and fook you.
No, no. That would have been cool, but no.
It was a spits or swallows, baby. All right.
And then it was just kind of, she would always just kind of put me forward for things, right. Trying to build confidence to, Did
a good job.
Yeah, she did all right. She's brilliant. I still talk to her today.
Awesome. How were you at school generally? Well behaved?
I was a combination. I think it was a bit of a mess or a bit of a class clown, but
yeah, I would see he was a good kid. He wasn't a jerk
student. I was never going to like take over the academic world. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like me.
But
me too.
Got through.
Yeah, I was a mixed bag. Never going to, as I said, never going to take over the academic world. Had a bit of a laugh. Enjoyed school, and then
sounds just like me, but with the talent. That's the difference.
And an accent.
And the looks. That's all. Other than that, he and I are just the same.
Just the exact same person.
Just the same.
And yeah, that's the way I was. Yeah, I was a bit of a mess around.
So often there's people have a teacher. It could be like, I'm thinking probably of Ian Wright, Mr. Pigeon, that PE teacher who sort of like made it for him.
How good is that?
Yeah,
that video
when they see each other for the first time.
Oh my god, please!
Made me cry. That
goosebumps now.
Yeah.
He goes, I thought you were dead.
Yeah, I know.
It's like I'm not.
I'm not Ian. I'm here. Was your choir teacher similar type of role? Was that your favourite teacher? Did the development you had really left an impact on you?
Yeah, probably, because our school, any school basically in Ireland, is very sports centric, very like Gaelic football, very, like very like a lot based around this. Maybe less so primary school. Primary school is primary school. You're teaching kids how to add, to multiply, and draw a few pictures. Like, it's not overcomplicated, but not that I'm undermining anything that they did. they made me.
No, for sure.
But you know what I mean? It's not, so you have teachers nurture at that age, whereas as students of an older age just annoy teachers.
Yeah.
So, I think she just kind of took me.
And Nathan wasn't here for this part. He could speak about his teacher experience, but being annoyed by teens.
He actually always said that he loves the teens.
Yeah, it's the staff probably.
Yeah.
I know. Isn't that the case of this? It's the adults that are the worst to work with. Go figure.
Yeah, no kidding.
Under our wing with a couple of the other lads in our class, and just kind of made me the singer when everyone else was all sporty, and I didn't really play the Gaelic. I was too small to play Gaelic football. They were all big and strong, and I was just never grew. So I just kind of stuck to the singing.
Were your family musical?
No, not at all.
Liked music?
Big music fans. Yeah, like I grew up on a lot of like 70s American rock.
You can hear it.
Yeah,
in your work. Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, well, that's a good thing, I suppose. It's kind of at this point, it's like subconsciously kind of I pick up the guitar, and that's what I naturally.
Yeah, it's not always DNA necessarily. Sometimes you're just born with it. I mean, you are just born with it.
My first gig at the RDS.
That's sick.
And I think that was like my intro.
Well, I think you are. This is the thing about I've noticed about singers and people that play instruments or anything. People that paint, draw, people who are good at computer science. It's not really a choice. You're not thinking, I'm interested in computer science. I'm interested in politics. You just kind of are. You're not. Like, I don't remember choosing anything. Like, I don't remember really deciding here's all the things I'm going to do with my life. I'm going to try this. Like, you just naturally just sort of do what you sort of do.
Yeah.
Like, I can sing. I can sing pretty good. Like, trust me, I have sung. I have used the vocal cords to elicit singing from my voice, but I cannot sing.
Yeah.
No matter how, there's no practicing that can get me to truly sound good. And I try playing guitar. and I suck. Like I just don't have the proclivity to do it. Like, of course, put a gun to my head and make me do it 10 hours a day. Okay, fine. But some people can pick up a guitar and they just start, oh, you're playing.
Yeah, I wish I could do the guitar. I could do the drums.
There you go.
But I was in, when I say I can do the drums, I can do a snare drum because I was in a pipe band because I'm Scottish.
That's cool.
Yeah, I always won first place. I was really good at it. So that was
fun.
Have
any video of that or pictures? I'd love to see it.
I actually do have one photo of when I won first place in my first competition. Yeah, I do. I will share it if anybody wants to see it.
I would love to see it.
I'll find it. Yeah, and then I sing all the time. I go to karaoke a lot. I love singing.
There you go.
I'm not saying I'm great, but I love.
But you're karaoke. You're karaoke. Karaoke.
I'm karaoke.
You're karaoke. But you're good enough to pull out a karaoke song without sounding horrible.
I guess. Yeah, I think I sound horrible, but people think I sound good.
Trust me. People think I sound horrible. That's the kind of horrible I am. You know what I mean? Like it's like, you might be having fun, Ryan, but you don't sound good.
My ex was like that. He went up and sang one time and it was the worst thing I've ever heard. But like,
you're having fun.
You're having fun. My current boyfriend though can sing beautifully. Actually, he does sing very, very well.
There you go. Wow, he's handsome and he can sing. Boy,
I think he's.
I'm just surrounded by these handsome men who can sing. Jeez.
Music and like vinyl in the house and all that kind of stuff. And that was. They were all both mad into it and had like an amazing vinyl collection in the house. So I was brought up on the good stuff. Still listen to it now. Like it's the groundwork for what I do.
And your dad as well, in terms of other passions, massive Derby fan, right?
Massive Derby County fan, yeah. He's over there every week.
What's that?
Honestly,
Derby
he's
fan?
unbelievable, that fella. He most weekends he's over there.
You go as well?
I try, when I go. Yeah, I was at Oxford United a couple of weeks ago. Been down to Portsmouth this season on a Friday night in the freezing cold.
How does a family living in Mullingar end up going to maybe not Pride Park initially.
Baseball ground,
football game.
Okay,
that makes sense.
What's the story there? How does that?
I think when he was born in 60, so 71, 72, he started getting into football, and we had won the league with Brian Clough, and it was at that point it was literally Derby or Leeds.
Okay.
And he probably would have still been listening to it on the wireless or something, and just kind of formed his opinion on English football through that, and then just whatever money he was making, he was trying to get over at least a couple of times a season or whatever, and then
all right, now move on from the football talk. I'm sorry, I don't follow these teams.
There was a period when we were
talk about One Direction.
Weekend, not awful lot of money, bear in mind. He was like bringing us on, a Tesco wage, and he was mad into it. And then you realise there's a load of Irish people who support Derby, and then it became a bit of like the Irish Rams would turn up at Dublin Airport on a Saturday morning, or for years we went on the ferry.
I bet there were some good piss-ups there.
Oh, great. Yeah, well, I sadly wasn't involved in any of them when I was that age, but it looked like good crack.
Yeah.
But it was brilliant. We used to get like the stupid o'clock ferry at like 6 a.m. from Dunleary to Holyhead, and then get the train as the sun was coming up to
sounds like Harry Potter,
change of crew,
towns.
and then crew to Derby, and then literally at 10 to 5 out the door, straight to back onto the train, crew, the reverse.
It's extraordinary.
And and he's still at that now. Obviously, then Ryanair came about.
So it changed. The mechanics of it changed a little bit.
East Midlands Airport became the spot, and then he's still at it every other week. He was there at the weekend watching us get thumped 2-0 against Forest Green Rovers or something like that. So it's
not quite.
It's gone beyond football fandom now.
Yeah.
It's just
he could be talking about Quidditch and all the different wizarding schools for all that.
For all we know, yeah.
Oh yeah, really, that's great. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good for them. Yeah, all right, cool. I know look, I love hockey, so it would be me geeking out about hockey. I'm not criticizing it, but I just don't follow these teams. That's
yeah. Fair.
It's it's a thing.
Masochism.
Mm-hmm.
Your childhood and education was cut short, like I said at the top of this, in the introduction, by One Direction and the X Factor.
The bastards.
Damn it! God, I really hate those guys for that.
Yeah. I can't believe they took me out of school.
Rolling Stone call One Direction, this is a direct quote, one of the great rock and roll bands of the 21st century.
Oh, wow.
I'll take that. Sarcastically.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
With hindsight, obviously, think you can make comments like that. But at what point did you sort of sit up and go, "Hang on, there's something happening here. You know, this isn't what my other 16-year-old mates are at."
Yeah, it was God.
Album 3.
Because it was so quick, but gradually quick. It felt because there was no like I can't think of a specific moment, but it was like that. But when you're in the mix, a short period of time feels like a long period of time.
Of course, yeah.
And you're in the bubble going along with it. I remember just like coming to the stage.
Also, time is slower when you're younger. I found too, like when you're older, like me.
Really?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Not for you. You thought time went by fast when you were actually in that moment. Like, did you find grade school went by fast and high school went by fast? Oh, well, my experience was the opposite. I found that life seemed to be not fast or slow, but it seemed to be very like, oh, grade. You know, I got to go through 5 grades of high school. Like, I was like, oh, that's forever. Now 5 years is a blink. It feels like, oh, that was 5 years ago. That movie came out 5 years ago. That's still new. Like, to me, that's like 5 grades. Seems like a long time. So I think when you're a teenager, that's what he's kind of saying. It was fast, but it was gradual. Because I think when you're young, because when you don't have very much life behind you, I think the life you're leading at that moment seems like a long time. But the more life you have behind you, you're realizing, oh, there's. Yeah, especially me. I'm past midlife. Like I'm legit past midlife. That's scary. I have more life behind me than ahead of me now. Officially, that's crazy.
I heard a thing, and this is going to make us all sad, but it said midlife because life expectancy is like what 70, 80. So you actually 50 is not. Yeah, 50 is not midlife. It's like that's like 25, 30. You know what I mean? It's pretty much midlife.
Well, yeah, if you want to get to, I would say 40 is a solid midlife if you want to go down the middle. I think the reason why they do push it later, though, and I think this is fair, is because you almost don't remember your first 10 to 15 years. So you have to kind of your midlife could be a little bit later because if you think about it, 15 to 35, that's 25 years of really kind of remembering things, and then 50 to 75. So it's tricky because that's why 50 sort of is midlife because the first 10 to 15 years, you're like, there's no memory. There's no real like concrete. Oh yeah, I remember being 6 years old. So
I remember being 3.
Oh, well, you're odd. I mean, don't be too contrarian. Do you really remember what you had for your breakfast when you're 3 years old? But what I'm saying is like, I remember my 20s much more.
I don't remember breakfast yesterday. That's not fair.
But I have. If it came down to writing a book about my life, I dare say, and I'm probably like most people. I would say most people would be able to write a life story more about their 20s and 30s than their 10s and their 8s. Like you'd have more stories to tell, more memories of work and first love and your first job, and you don't really like. Sure, I remember when I got a Tonka truck when I was 6 years old, but I rode my bike with my buddies.
Was the Tonka truck your favorite toy?
I loved my Tonka truck. In fact, I have a picture of my Tonka truck. It was yellow.
You know what I had? I don't know if you ever heard of them. They're kind of like a Barbie with wings, and they're on this thing, and then you like spin the thing, and their wings they like friggin' fly up, and they like smack you in the face. That and probably like a Tamagotchi. Those were my favorite things.
Yeah, I saw a funny video. You probably seen it where a girl did that with the fairy thing on Christmas morning, and they went into the fire pit. Yeah, that's a fun video.
I did see it. I was like, oh, that would have sucked.
I guess you just buy her another one. I guess it makes for a fun video though. It's almost like went right into the fire.
No, I got smacked in the face every time. It was like, wow.
Oh, wow.
States, going to the States for the first time in 2011 or 12 and seeing like the madness for a country we'd never been to before.
Yeah.
And like, in our head.
It's like the Beatles going to the States for the first time, seeing the Beatle mania in the States. We were seeing it outside the X Factor studio, and we were seeing bits around the UK, and because they know us because we were on their TV screens every Friday night or every Saturday night. And then it was just getting to the States and like seeing that madness, or going to like places like Italy and and the streets being blocked off and like shutting down Times Square and like mad stuff. Like, that's when you're like, what's going on?
I think the point you made there about being on TV as well, because when the show was in its peak around then, I think it was getting about 15 million people watching it every night, right? So you
That's
go
pretty
from
good,
being
but numbers back then.
a normal teenager, it gets broadcast, 15 million people all of a sudden know exactly who you are. They've done the emotional backstory thing, they've built you up, they've done all that.
Yeah.
You're going through the show, and by Sunday, you're famous. I guess that's kind of what you mean by quick and gradual.
Yeah.
Was it difficult to adjust?
Again, I would say it's probably easier to adjust when you're younger versus if I will never be famous, but if you're old like us or like me, it'd be very jarring because you're like, I've never experienced, because I have so much life behind me where I'm not that way.
Yeah.
It's like being like winning the lottery when you're 50. It's like I've been poor my whole life. All of a sudden I'm a multimillionaire. It's jarring. But when you're young, again, you don't have much to compare it to. You're just kind of like, again, for better for worse, you could adjust. You adjust to things, and like he has more of his life now being famous than his memory of life not being famous at this point.
Yeah, I'd say about half and half. Yeah.
Well, if he's 30 something, right? Like
and he was
more than half his life.
15 or
15,
so?
16. So he's got more than half his life being famous. He's got less of his life, and again, that first part of his life, there's no memory. So his whole life, he's almost just been famous. It's like, yeah.
Yes and no. Like the fact that I literally packed a suitcase and never went home. 14 years later, still the same thing. Like that was mad. But then again, I'd watched the X Factor for years. I was just like going along with it. Like this is brilliant to meet these new lads. We're having a great time. I was 16 or 17 or something like that. Just being 16 and 17, very impressionable. Just going along with things.
Yeah.
Seeing what happens, playing it by ear, having fun, making tunes. Like it was all just happening, and I was there.
Well, I think you've played yourself down a little bit, but I guess it's kind of like a continuation of school, maybe in a way. But you like you were saying, making tunes, and you made some tunes. 5 years, 5 records, 4 world
crazy
tours.
how much they packed. Again, like the Beatles. The Beatles packed. They were only a band for like 10 years. The Beatles. And the way you think and talk about them, it sounds like they were together for 25 years. But the impact they had was huge in a very short amount of time.
Wow. Oh, because they broke up, right?
Yeah, it was like 1970. I think they broke up. So it was like basically like 60 to 70. I think it was like, I don't know exactly. I think it was anywhere from 10 to 11 years they were an actual band, and that's it. Then boom, done. But you think of all the styling changes from the short bobby hair to the hippie beard. It's this crazy thing that, again, a 10-year period for me. 2015 just seems like yesterday. But that was the whole Beatles career in that moment. Done.
Wow.
And it's the same with the One Direction. Just like that, just 5 albums, 5 years, 5 tours, boom, 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 films, interviews, done. Yeah.
Wow. It's quick.
All of which were arena tours. The thing that impresses me, one of the things that most impresses me about it is the work ethic that involves. And actually, at the beginning, you mentioned time. You mentioned being able to listen to a record and hear time.
Yeah.
What was the story with that work ethic? Were you making hay while the sun shines? You were like, we're having a great time here. Let's go.
I'll be interested to see how he answers. From what I've heard from our patrons and YouTube comments over the last few years doing One Direction is, yes, they were very hard workers. And I'm not saying they weren't, but a lot of it was pushed, again, by the record company. So pump out. So it'll be interesting to see how he answers this question, because he said, well, I know, how was it like doing the work, because I think some of it had to do with the record company sort of pushing it, like, on tour, you're recording your album. On tour, you're recording your album. Go.
Wow.
Let's go. Did you want to be working that hard and that intensively?
It was in hindsight, we that's why I kind of stopped for a second, because like it was just like we've done a lot here. Maybe just like everyone calm down for a second. But it's not so much striking while the iron's hot. It's more the demand is there. Like you can go, we can play.
I think, but
like 2 years of stadiums, like, which is nuts. And at that point, not a lot. Like it was U2 basically, and there wasn't many like people playing stadiums around then. And it was just the demand was there, and it was fun. It was a great laugh. We were just bouncing around the place on a bus, going all over the world, seeing different places, getting up on stage to countries that don't even speak the same language as you.
And they're singing the words back at you.
Yeah, we remember the first time we went to South America. We played in Bogota, Colombia, first night. Never been in the place in our lives. Never been to South America. And we played to like 50,000 people on the first night. people that don't even speak the same language as you, and they're roaring lyrics back. And I always just find that like that's the maddest thing about what we do. But I remember seeing that as well. That was another point where I was like, Christ, this is different.
I would say he dodged the question. He said that it wasn't like striking the iron hot, but there was a demand. But I'm not criticizing Niall, but it almost sounds like this. That's sort of the same. You strike when the iron's hot because there's demand. That's the same thing. You're a high demand band, and you kind of keep. Again, the record company doesn't want to lose their golden goose, right? They're only going to be a boy band for a certain period of time before they're the adult band, if that makes sense, right? So
yeah.
You're not as cute when you're 28, 30, 34, 45, 50. The Jackson 5 soon becomes Tito Jackson, like it's like,
hey man, the Backstreet Boys are still doing their thing.
Oh yeah, they're still doing something for sure, but I don't think it's still not the same, and that's just the reality of boy bands is they become adults and dads and balding heads, and it's just it's normal. It's just normal.
I think they all look fabulous for their age, though.
That's good for them. Fantastic.
They do. Have you seen them?
Yes, really I don't know. I think you're missing the point. I don't think I'm making maybe it's my. Believe it or not, I'm not being an asshole. I'm actually just saying the reality is if you're a record company and you've got these cute, good-looking boys, whether it's Backstreet, NSYNC, eventually that golden goose. There's a timeline for it. It's just the reality of aging. Every Disney kid star becomes an adult. Every puppy becomes a dog. Like there's only. It doesn't mean the dog is not loved and adored, but it's not a puppy anymore. There's something special about a puppy versus the dog. That's why babies are so cute. When you eat them up, me. And then they turn into my teenage kids. They're like, oh, all right. Well.
Oh, you.
Oh, you stink.
I don't feel that way about my animals, though.
I think you've missed my point. It's okay. My analogy is not very good. I think you're equating cuteness with love, and that's not. I think there's a difference.
Yeah,
but
I'm purposely missing the point.
Oh, are you? Oh,
yeah.
All right. See, Alina gets what I'm saying. Every cute, yeah, it's true. Unless you've raised kids, it's hard to explain. But yeah, cute little babies just want to squish them, and then they become teenagers when you tell them to put on their deodorant. It's different, but I still love them. But they're not cute the way they used to be. There's something special about babies. If babies were born looking like us now, they'd all be dead.
We would cease to exist as a.
That's right, because they're cute for a reason. Because they're so hard to raise, but they're like, "Oh, you're so adorable." Anyway,
good.
This is serious.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I mean, that's completely extraordinary. You're saying there's a lot of demand, so obviously a lot of sales. I'm thinking of myself at that time, 16, 17, 18-year-old me. Getting a payday like that, I'd be thinking, well, I'll put it like this: I wouldn't be buying premium bonds. I'd be doing something I'd be doing something a bit silly with my money. And I just wonder, was there a moment there's a moment where you go, oh my god, this is massive, and you get that first big paycheck. Do you spend it on something a little bit ridiculous, or you kind of doing the Stormzy thing and buying your mum a house?
Yeah, no, I did that. Bought my mother a house. Did paid the mortgage off first. That was the first one.
Oh,
brilliant.
That's nice.
Did I get? I think I might have got my mother a car. She was driving like a Daewoo something.
Well, every good kid gives their parents buy your parents their mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
Buy them a car. Absolutely. You always hear about that. That's great. So the first he did was pay off his parents' debt. That's great. That's awesome.
That's nice.
And I got her a car. Things like that. Yeah.
There's something in me as a son that just makes me want to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like being able to offer, it's like such a good thank you. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Pay it back.
Well, yeah. Literally dragged me up. No, I was brought up. I wasn't dragged up. But being able to do that stuff is class. Like coming from a small working class town, knowing how tough it is to raise families and stuff like that, and then being able to like do stuff like that is pretty sweet. Then I was able to get myself in a flat, and like I always I feel like such a prick. People ask me like, what was the first car you had? I was like,
yeah, I think I heard this story.
To tell you?
Yeah, you do now.
I got a Range Rover for my first car.
Yes. Color, what, like white, gold?
No, it was black, and I had it fucking matted.
Yeah.
And I was rolling around London like just. This guy.
Sure.
Yeah, but like
6x9s in the back.
Yeah, we were rolling big on 22s, baby. But it was just like it's such a, and it's not so much I'm going to splash the cash.
No,
But it's like,
no.
well, I have like I was brought up well. We're
Yeah, you never
done
bought
our-
drugs and whores. I mean, I hate to say it. There's some people who can handle their money and they blow it. It's amazing how much you hear the I won't say any celebrities, but you just Google it. How many celebrities blew so much money on gambling or drugs or women or who knows what, cars, yachts. But it's not endless. Like you got to be like rich people can become poor because it's the same idea. It's the pattern of spending.
Yep.
You still buy what you can't afford, even if you're rich, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
you got to be smart with your money, man. So he did the right thing. Paid off his parents' debt. Sure, buy yourself a new car. For sure.
Oh yeah,
That's
treat
nothing.
yourself a little bit, but
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
I bought myself a flat. Yeah, I'm sure it was just a normal little 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah, actually, probably was, but a really nice one.
Yeah. Oh, it was nice. It was probably nice. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
all right with the money thing, and I'm gonna get myself a car.
Yeah.
I can, and
You've
Oh
earned
yeah.
it.
I'm gonna learn how to drive here. And
In this car.
yeah, I'm gonna learn how to drive.
Bet
And
the
then
insurance was
I
heavy on that.
did me test in Barnet in High Barnet, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a testing centre up there. Some Irish fella taught me how to drive, which sounded dodgy enough already. And then and I remember I never did a manual test.
Right.
I did an automatic
Yeah,
test
yeah.
because I noticed that all the cars that like you can get every car in automatic. I was like, why would I put myself through that?
Yeah.
I
hear you.
think I knew how to drive a tractor.
Oh, sorry. The thought occurred. I think I wasn't explaining myself very well. I think I got it now. I think it just came to me. I'm trying to think of a boy band from the Commodores to the Jackson 5 to all these young groups when they were young. Like they all of them. That's what I'm trying to say. They can all do the reunion tours. They all do the comeback tours. We get that. You know what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
they always seem to peak when they were young.
Oh yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like there's a certain element to that's why they're called boy. You never hear of a girl band called a woman band or a boy band called a man band. Like you don't hear that term. They're just a band. That's why I always say like One Direction, they had to break up. It's the natural order of things. They're just not going to do. They're not going to do the songs they're doing when they're 18, when they're 45. It just doesn't make sense. They're going to go. Beatles. They went solo. Every boy band goes solo. Every girl band goes solo. Destiny's Child. They went solo. Like it just. It seems to be the nature of it. I don't know why. I'm not in the music industry per se, but from what I've learned, watching bands over the years, the bands that stay together are the ones that all have a part to play. Like I'm the drummer, I'm the bass player, I'm the guitarist, I'm the It's very rarely 5 singers. Now I'm sure people, oh yeah, but don't forget about the Pineapple Quartet. Okay, fine, yes, the Pineapple Quartet. There's always some group, sure, but you know what I mean. But even the Beach Boys, everyone breaks up. It's weird. It's just it's a weird. Very few bands that formed when they were young and cute stay together for 50 years.
Yeah.
But then I just started. I never did a manual test. Did the automatic. Yeah, and so I got myself a car, was able to get myself a flat, and they were kind of my big spends.
You were talking about that show in Bogota, and I saw you guys play. It was the BBC Music Awards, so it was it was like loads of
in the
different,
NEC?
yeah, loads of different artists. I think you did one song maybe, and
Coldplay, I remember.
in the crowd at the mention of the name One Direction, right, and obviously every other artist was a bit of applause,
Golf
and
clap.
exactly, which you know about.
Big cheer.
And then
when they
your
were
name
announced,
gets
but,
mentioned, and the sound that the crowd created is unlike anything I've heard anywhere else. It was it's so hard to describe. It's like visceral. It was like this instinctive thing, and I just wonder, as a young man.
I'm deaf now.
You've been doing well pretending to hear me. As a young man, you walk on stage. There's 50,000 Colombians, and I imagine the noise was more extreme than there was at BBC Music
South
Awards.
America's
It's
a
bit more
great
sedate
concert
affair.
crowds too. So
How does it feel to hear that noise and it's directed at you? Do you know what I mean?
I'm one of these people that I've never ever gotten bored of like the feeling. Some people are like, I could do without touring. I could go home. Touring's not for me. But I've always been excited for every show. Like what you're gonna get, the tension, the fact that people have waited and paid like mad money to come and watch it. I've like live off that. And that when whatever the start of the show may be, when that starts and the lights go down or whatever, hearing that sound is just like there was talk of it being like the sound.
You hear about that from almost any artist, of course, and it's just what a feeling it must be. I couldn't imagine.
Mm-hmm.
People literally are so excited to see your presence on stage. That must be a rush. That's why they say every actor wants to be a rock star, right? Because it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's something. Even though you might be a $1 billion franchise actor or actress, there's something visceral hearing the actual audible response to your art. Whether you're a comedian with the laughter, a rock star with the cheers and the singing back of your lyrics, or a sports star, of course, when you score a goal or basket, the cheer of the crowd, or boy, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll never hear that, Danielle. I'm sorry.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm more than fine with it.
All right. It must be an amazing experience, though. It must be an amazing feeling to feel that.
Yeah.
And the same sound as if you were to set off, if NASA were to launch a rocket in the middle of the stadium, is what
Well, like
the
the
decibel level is the same noise as like fucking Soyuz or something. Like, so yeah, there was talk of that at a few gigs. It's probably more so in South America, very loud for the passionate countries, you know. But yeah, that feeling is just like it's goose pimples every time.
I bet.
Goose pimples. I love that. We say
if you get bored of that, there's
I've had for the UK they say goose pimples, which is odd because we always pimples in Canada and the States is the zits.
Yeah.
It's always like goose pimples, but I think that's a UK thing. We say goosebumps. Goosebump. I think Americans say goosebumps as well.
We even had a show about it.
Oh, about pimples and bumps.
Goosebumps. You've never heard of Goosebumps?
Oh, the TV show. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Well, the UK version was called Goose Pimples.
Goose Pimples. Yeah.
Weird. Something wrong with you.
How'd you stay calm? You're in the wings.
Marijuana.
That happens.
You just look at each other and just laugh. Like we would there was so many. We actually called one of our stadium tours "Where We Are" tour because we would just be all the time just going, "Look where we are." Like we literally be just going, "What is this? This is mental." So we it was a laughable offense what was going on. Like you couldn't, if you didn't laugh, you cry. That phrase,
It's a lot to take.
So there was a lot of times where we just stand there just going, what the fuck is going on? How did we manage this?
It's insane. Yeah. I mean, so you're to come at it from a sort of, ego perspective, right? You've got that noise every time you walk out on stage. You've got people queuing for days, to get into your gig. I think you still got that now. I was reading a review from one of your earlier shows, and The Guardian, I think, had interviewed people who had been there for 2 days, right, waiting for you so they could be at the front. You've got all this going on, and again, I keep coming back to how young you were at this time. How did you stay level-headed? How did you try and keep your ego in check?
There you go. Good question. I want to say too, I've had no issues with it, as you've noticed. Sometimes interviewers will get under my skin.
Yeah, this guy's fine.
Very serviceable, and serviceable in a good way. He does his job, listens, gives good questions. Isn't trying to be the star of the show. Allows his guests to be the star of the show. So I'm completely on board with this young man.
Good.
Olly. So, which kind of doesn't make it fun for me because it's kind of fun to roast the interviewer, but he's got a funny haircut. Is that better? Okay, no, I'm just joking.
There you go. Stupid beard, haircut.
You seem so normal now talking to you, and it's just it's extraordinary.
Oh, I want to say here too, I think Niall, it's a great question, but I think he naturally isn't like egotistical or narcissistic. So I think for him, it wasn't like he had to try. I mean, it feels good to be adored. You're not human if you don't feel good when you're adored. But I don't think he had to like really do any kind of real practice to not have it go to his head. I think he just naturally just doesn't. It won't do that. He won't become that celebrity. But let's see what he says though. That's my guess about who he is. But let's see how he answers this.
I do get that, but I don't know. I don't really know how.
Yeah.
I suppose like having good people around. I was actually asked about this a couple of days ago. The answer is probably the people around, like
parents,
the managers, the label, just the people we had in our team, our tour managers are important, our security are important. People like that are very important to things like that. And then it's, I'd say most likely our background. Like
your upbringing,
the way we were brought up.
Yeah.
I think that was half the attraction of One Direction, was that people could clearly tell it was 5 working class young lads from market towns and villages all over the UK and Ireland.
Good mothers.
They were just like
Yeah.
deer in the headlights, pop stars, you know. I think that was what a lot of people were attracted to. And you just have to, we just kept just going along with it, seeing what had happened, and not, because it's probably because we had each other. I think there's that thing of being able to keep each other in check, but I can't remember any situations of anyone being like,
so they had a good team,
Over.
good upbringing. They had people that made sure they didn't go crazy. They did have like hotel rules. I remember that when they were younger. So that kind of thing. They helped them stay out of trouble. No crazy that I can recall in all our research and all our videos with any kind of scandals.
Yeah.
You know, like you hear about teen stars, you know, ex-Disney kids when they get into some sort of scandals and shaving their heads or, you know, hitting cars with umbrellas. I don't recall any of that with these guys.
Yeah.
station or whatever, if that's even a phrase.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd say most likely down to our upbringings, I'd imagine. Brought up, not dragged up.
Was there anyone in particular, I don't know, who was able to guide you, whether it was you know, another artist or maybe a particular manager or someone in your security that, you know, in, let's say, in a particularly stressful situation or whatever, you would be able to go to and be able to give you a bit of advice and give you a bit of a steer on how you should handle something? Because, you know, when I was that age, I'd go and talk to one of my parents about it. And you're on the other side of the world. Right?
Yeah. There was that. The parents were helpful, though, because you'd just have normal conversation.
Yeah.
And they were blown away by it, too. So the fact that they were all blown away, it was like, oh, talk to my granny, and she's like, oh, I just cut your 95,000 picture out of the paper. You know, like, you still had that. And it was still, you know, it was exciting to hear that. So that brings you down to earth straight away when you hear that kind of thing. And the parents' situation was always good because it was like very simple conversation, nothing very Irish. Oh, did you hear who died this week in Mullingar? Like, you know, like that's the kind of thing that
I shouldn't be laughing at
yeah,
that.
I know, but
rude.
that's where the conversation starts most of the time. But yeah, I think it was just the simplicity of the conversation. And like, I remember like my father and my mother saying like, you know, we've got no idea about this industry at all. You know, you already know more about that like now. And but you know, just stay grounded. Don't let you get ahead of yourself or anything like that. And you know, because I think you probably spend your whole career, in no matter what it is, you're trying to like, you're nearly holding on like as if it's on its way out. You know, that's the way we kind of we think as people. It's human nature to either get ahead of yourself and it falls flat on its face, or you like are grabbing on like it's going, and it's probably not.
That wasn't me.
But yeah, there's a bit of that keeps you humble. Like we when we were doing stadiums back in the day, and even now when I'm like playing arenas and things like that, it could be very easily gone. Like there's another young. Yeah, another. There's some young, sexy fella coming up here now, just like
Impossible.
You know, and you have to think about what's coming and how competitive it is out there, and if you know,
that's what I mean. See, that's what I'm saying. Now, even it says there's another young. It's never another old person, but it's another young. Every celebrity goes through this. For every Katy Perry, now there's Sabrina Carpenter. You know, it's always like you think you're going to be young forever. There's always a new person just nipping at the heels of the next, and there's one right now. There's a 10-year-old girl or boy right now who we don't know who they are yet, but you will in about 6 or 7 years. You know what I mean? It's just crazy how it's never stopped, and it never will stop. So
no matter what it is, you're trying to like, you're nearly holding on like as if it's on its way out. You know, you're that's the way we kind of we think as people. It's human nature to either get ahead of yourself and it falls flat on its face, or you like are grabbing on like it's going, and it's probably not. But yeah, there's a bit of that keeps you humble. Like we when we were doing stadiums back in the day, and even now when I'm like playing arenas and things like that, it could be very easily gone. Like there's another young. another. There's some young, sexy fella coming up here now, just like
Impossible. Impossible.
and you have to think about what's coming and how competitive it is out there, and if there's thoughts that go through your head, that keep you humble.
This is where we left off.
Did it change? Has your success, maybe not with your parents, but I was listening to an interview. I think it might have been Wan-Bissaka or someone like that, and he was talking about when he got his first team debut, when he was starting for the first time, and one of the senior pros said to him, "This weekend you're going to get a lot of people reaching out to you. You're going to get a lot of people being like, oh, let's go for a drink, let's do this, do that." And he's like, "Don't stay yourself. Like, stay within your zone. Stay with the people that matter to you."
That'd be easy. Again, I'll never be rich or famous, but if it were to happen, I think it's pretty easy to suss out. Like, gee, you're just happy. Like when people win the lottery, that will happen. Let's say, oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, really? I just happen to have another $10 million lottery win. All of a sudden, all your friends come out of obviously, you should know already who your friends are. So,
100%.
Yeah. That's a pretty easy, like, oh, cool. You want to hang out? No, I'm good.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm good.
That's why I have like 2 friends.
You're now one of my 3 friends. Wow.
Yeah. Well, actually,
you, Nathan, and
you and Nathan are my 3rd and 4th, I guess I should say. I'm just
of course.
thinking
Family's always first, of course. Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, doesn't count.
Of course, I'm friendly and I get along with a lot of coworkers, but people like. That's the thing about coworkers. Sorry, totally tangent here, but the thing about coworkers is funny. Is like I see them all day, and they're like, hey, do you want to do something? I'm like, no, it's not that I don't. It's can I do something with my family? Like I saw you all week. In fact,
I don't want to stay.
I got paid to hang out with you.
Yeah, that's for work.
Oh man,
how did it change from that perspective? Your relationships with other people. How did success change that part of your life?
Yeah, there were definitely some strange ones.
Yeah,
not that I could particularly put my finger on. You just get a feeling, like people that you went to school with that you barely spoke to.
Yeah,
that wouldn't even look at you in the hallway or now pretending to like
kicking the shit out of you.
Yeah, or like spinning your.
Imagine if you could go back in time and be friends with them, like knowing that Niall's going to hey, you buddy up to him when. It's like, yeah, we've been best friends forever. Oh, you're like, I can I be part of your entourage? Well, of course, we've been best friends since grade school.
Right? Oh my gosh.
I've also thought about that too, where when a star isn't the star they are, they're playing their first show at a bar or something. If you go back in time, get their autograph back then, before, because you're like, oh, gee, thanks for coming to the show. Like, little did they know they're going to be selling out stadiums, but you get to meet them before they're that.
Yep.
Around with your bag on your back and like doing a bit of all that stuff. You remember when we were at that house party and I was like, no, I don't, weirdly enough. I was 15, 16. A lot of that, and then like family asking you to get like autographs signed and tickets for this person and videos for that person's nephews, cousins, that kind of stuff. But that's kind of slowed down a lot. I think the excitement of it all was a bit much for everyone. There are definitely like relationships that are silently fractured without
when you're
interesting. It's funny. Even he's saying like probably there was relationships that weren't really an issue, but when he became famous, now it's like it almost puts that relationship to the test. Where it's like, oh, we really aren't friends. Well, it's not that we're not friends, but now you're really asking me to give you. Oh, fine, you're big and rich and famous now. You okay? Well, come on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That level of, I guess, fame, right? This sounds like a stupidly broad question, but like, what happens? What is in the terms of like the details of your life? What changes? Have you got someone who is like a PA or whatever who is really there for any need you have? They help you out. Is it like body doubles going out of different entrances to hotels?
All of that, yeah.
You've done all that.
I've done decoyed vans and
So how does it change like the logistics of your life? Because I'm assuming now, I don't know. Are you able to sort of like walk and go and get a pint of milk or go for a pint and all that kind of stuff? Like what changes for someone who hasn't experienced it?
I think the height of 1D, in hindsight, I probably could have gone more places. But the fear of going somewhere and getting pictures and autographs every step, because there was periods where you go out and you wouldn't get 5 yards outside the door and it'd be cars pulling over on the street and countryside, or you go into the pub and everyone is looking at you, or anything. I remember one time I stupidly went to Westfield in Shepherd's Bush and honestly swore to God, I was like, I'm going to die in here. I'm never getting out of here. Outside,
there's more people coming to Westfield. They're swarming.
It was like Shaun of the Dead or something. But yeah, no, I remember like
scary.
It was probably the fear of that kept me in, and I probably became a bit of a recluse in ways. Early doors, probably I'd say 2012, 13, that kind of world. 14 maybe as well, where it was just kind of it was probably all in my head. Became a recluse because of the thought of going out.
Well, wasn't it Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys? He became a recluse for decades.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
Now he really is a recluse. Okay, sorry.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, Joe.
Boo. Yeah, I can only imagine it must be terrifying to. Terrifying is equally as frustrating. Like, you just can't. Like, I just want to go to the pub. Like, I want to go to the pub.
Yeah.
And but it also depends on the celebrity. Some celebrities carry themselves in a way where. I listened to Conan O'Brien. Well, he does podcasts now, but I've been watching his talk show back in the day since I was a teenager. So I've been, a fan of his for years. But he walks around New York all the time. And I guess New York's a different beast too. Like, but you have to.
Doesn't Regis Feldman also just walk around New York all the time?
I hope not anymore.
Well, no, but
that'd be.
When did he die?
Oh, like 10, 12 years ago. I think it's like 2015.
Really?
Oh, maybe 2016, 17. Well, if it wasn't 10 years ago, it was more than 5 years ago.
Gotcha.
Anyways, the point being is, I think it depends on like New York, LA is a little bit more like, some celebrities can kind of carry themselves in a way when it's a certain level of stardom too, where it's hard to say, where you have to almost be good with just like people looking at you. That's what Conan was saying. He knows that the people look at him, take pictures. You just have to be okay with it. Just wave, say hi, and just go about your day. But if you kind of carry yourself in a way where, I don't know. But yeah, One Direction is a different level. I guess it's also younger fans. That's the thing too.
Yeah.
Like
young girls
are
insane. I remember when I was, I would have done crazy things when I was 15 if I saw my Backstreet Boys out and about.
Sure.
I would have lost my shit.
My example was probably terrible. See, I would have been like excited to see Conan. I would have clawed at him. Hey, Conan, enjoy. I would probably say, hey, Conan, enjoy your stuff. You're funny. And that's it. I would have waited and just.
Yeah, 40-something-year-old you, yeah. But like, if you think back to when you were younger, like we're unhinged when we're young. Yeah,
what I mean is, that's the thing is Conan has the older fans, so it wasn't a very good example.
Well, fair. I mean, I get anxiety when I go out and one person sees me. I'm like, oh my God, please no. Nathan and I were at Comic-Con in Calgary, and I seen one lady of all people, just like, and it's just not somebody that you want to talk to, and you get stuck, and you're just like, like that drains me. You know what I mean? And I'm so nice about it, but then afterwards, I'm like, oh. Yeah, I don't want to hear every single life problem within the span of 5 minutes that we're talking. It's exhausting.
Let's do it. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. No. Well, good news. We're not going to get any more popular on this channel, so you'll be fine.
Wonderful.
When I probably could have, because in hindsight now, I literally live the most normal life that I could possibly live in the scenario I'm in.
That's
I
good. Goes out more.
I know this sounds stupid because there was a period where I couldn't do any of this, but go to the shops and buy my own stuff and make my own dinner and do the washing
again, because the fans are older, like you're saying. His fans are older. Yes. So the 14-year-old then is now 24, 25. And honestly, hopefully a 25-year-old person will act a little bit different than they do when they're 14. So his fans are older. So I'm sure he gets recognized, but they're not clawing at him. Yeah. For sure.
That's so funny. Like I've had, like, I could see somebody like, and I'd be like, if I seen him on the street or if I seen him in like my grocery store or something, I'd be like, oh, he's attractive. He looks familiar. Anyway. Right. And then that's my memory. Like I could see someone super, super famous and I'd be like, oh, they look
I think
familiar.
what happens too, not you, the listener and watcher, I'd be sorry, let me start again. We would all be surprised and or not surprised how many famous people you've walked right past, because you're not really, are you looking at every single face you go, when you're in an airport, I'm looking at you. I actually don't look at anybody. I'm not looking at anyone really.
Yeah. Same.
So you could have walked right past somebody from the Backstreet Boys for all you know, because you're not looking at every face.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not. And even if I do, like, I think I've seen famous people like in passing, and I'm just like, they look familiar.
Is that something?
Anyway, and then I move on with my life, and then later I find out, and I'm like, damn it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what do you do?
People do look a little bit different. It's weird when you're in person. They just look like they look smaller. I've always heard people look, or people are taller than you thought they were, or whatever it is. Yeah. And then it's like, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm only 4 feet tall, for example. When you see me in public, totally. I'm 4 feet tall.
Brian's a short king, everybody.
And just general stuff. Like there was a period where someone said to me, do you want to grab a coffee or do you want to go for lunch? I would have said, absolutely not. And now, like, was I right to have been so quiet and reclused?
No, I think the right thing.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Probably safer.
But yeah, I do try. I have an assistant, like, with
knows karate,
helps me with day-to-day stuff, calendar management, house things, general stuff. And that's very helpful, obviously, because I'm on the move all the time, and it'd be a disaster if I just turned the key in the house and that was it. I come back to a pit of the dust. But yeah, no, like that kind of thing's great. And I used to have security every single place I went, and there'd be someone standing there all the time, and I just was like, I don't need it. Like I can I grew up and went, I can actually deal with this myself. I can if someone comes up to me and asks for a photo, and a few people do, it's just like, yep, just like, you get used to things.
Most people are decent, right? Like most people just want to say hello to you a lot of the time, I guess. And I just like the word you used there, fear. That's a really powerful word to talk about something that I think a lot of people would just immediately think, well, what's to complain about? It's like, it's such a good thing, but to use that word, it's clearly like a really deep feeling that you had at the time.
Fear's a real thing, for sure. I can
like you were saying.
Look, people are unpredictable, man.
Yeah, 100%.
Hello, John Lennon. Like, it's natural to be afraid that you get some crazed fan who just
happens a lot. Happens more often than you'd think. But I keep hearing stories about random celebrities where people are just
they go to your home,
crazy. Yeah,
they go to your home. Like even in your home, they're like literally, we're supposed to be married or whatever it is. There's some. Unfortunately, there's mental health issues. That's the problem.
People will stalk like influencers and famous people on TikTok. They'll stalk them and stuff. Like it's crazy.
Very small. I mean, we're just a small, stupid channel, but we've had people even on our Patreon, or sometimes people think they are. It's hard to explain, but like
territorial, maybe you're the possession.
Yeah, Nathan and I have experienced certain people, and they're no longer with us, and I won't say any names, but it has happened where they feel like they're in a relationship with us.
That's insane.
Yeah, and they get jealous if we talk to somebody else in the chat or stuff like that. Oh, yeah. So that's what I'll just leave it at that. It's happened. Yeah, so fair. People do cling on. They form this relationship. So on a bigger scale, of course, somebody like Brad Pitt or Jennifer Aniston. Stop it. It's not you, Alina. It's like, we already would have booted you out. Trust me. No, we're talking. Trust me. I could save it for. We could do a whole episode of just talking about the stories that Nathan and I have gone through. But but the point is if you look at something like Brad Pitt or Jennifer Aniston, they're celebrity level. They would just draw in, like, their brighter lights. They just draw in more. There's just the ratio of crazies is just that much higher. They get people who come to their house, break into their home. Ooh, scary.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, I would never feel safe.
No.
Self-fulfilling, because you're scared. You don't go out because you're scared, and then you're just spiraling.
Snowball. Yeah. No, you're right. It is. It's a. I don't know what I was fearing. Like when I think about it, I was like, what was I fearful about?
Yeah.
Yeah,
John
and there
Lennon,
is that
it's a
like
real
and people
thing.
are,
It's
they're okay.
okay.
Like that's fine if they have that view. You know, yeah, you're rich and famous, and yeah, it must be brilliant. You know, but there is a side of it when you've just come from zero to hero, for the want of a better phrase. You know, the shock of it. You know, one day you're not, and then you are. Then the next day, and it's just like it's a bit of a shock to the system, and you just you're trying to live a normal life, and the stuff that comes with it is a bit of like,
there's no way around it. You can't be like, and I know what Niall's saying. He's a very humble, nice guy. I get what he's saying, but I know I'm not saying this to Niall that he doesn't really know. But the reality is, you can't have it both ways. That is the cross, if there's such a thing. The cross to bear as a celebrity is the fact that you're known. You can't have celebrity without fame. The fact that you're a celebrity just means that's what it means. You can't be an unknown celebrity. It doesn't exist.
Nope.
So it's not you or Niall, but when you present yourself to the world saying, "Hey, I'm really good," and people are like, "Hi, I really like what you're doing," either A, you stop presenting, and people do. Sometimes people do retire from acting or music. They'll just retire for that reason. That's totally. But what people are saying to people like Niall is they're kind of saying like, your cross to bear is the fact that maybe you can't go to the coffee shops like you used to, but you are rich and famous. And there are people who are struggling in the world who, again, Niall's not this way. I just want to be clear, but this is a celebrity thing, meaning celebrities, that's the thing that celebrities also have to deal with. You have to deal with the fact that you have people in the world who are starving and who are struggling paycheck to paycheck. And those people might not want to hear about your gripes.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say make it sound that way, but the idea is, be humble with your gifts, because the people that have made you famous are also the same people who are struggling paycheck to paycheck. So it's a real fine balance between the celebrity receives monetary value of their good work, of their talents, absolutely. But the same people are paying for these concert tickets or movie tickets or whatever to get babysitters to go see a film. It's actually a sacrifice for them to support your celebrity. It's a really weird relationship.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But I just don't want anyone to add me in the comments that I'm not saying about. No, I'm talking about celebrity in general. So
yeah. No, I get you. I
wasn't expecting this.
This
they're human feelings, but. And fair enough, people have that view or whatever, but I've lived it, and I just kind of know what it's. Obviously, there are great perks as to what I do, but there was a couple of times where I was a bit, not all the time, by the way. I sound like I was like depressed in what I was doing. I wasn't. I was loving it, but a couple of little things that I would have loved.
Of course, it's irritating.
Would have loved to have done different.
And that's all he's saying. The same way you and I would love to be able to go on a cruise or visit Europe or wherever we want with the money that he has. He's also saying the flip side is there's sometimes he wishes he could just go to the coffee shop and not be swarmed. So we all have to deal with our own crosses to bear in life.
100%.
Nobody gets out of this life for free.
Yep. Facts.
Did you grow up at all during this time? And I don't mean that to sound rude as it does. I mean it sincerely, because simultaneously you're talking about the kind of the machinery that surrounds you at that time, right? And as a 16, 17, 18-year-old guy, I think of myself, right? I made mistakes. Yeah. I made a lot of mistakes. I got to make them in private. I didn't have the glare of the Daily Mail pointing at me. I didn't have all of these people around me, like this apparatus.
Yeah, you got to be careful again.
I guess to insulate you in a way, but also, like you said, to sort of take care of you, help you, assist you with all the stuff that's going on. So what did that mean for you and your kind of, development and like growing up?
Yeah, it was obviously a very different.
I think Niall was pretty good. We talked about this in the beginning part of this interview, where I don't think he has any real scandals that I'm aware of. That's kind of what this guy's asking. Like, you grew up in the public eye at a young age, where when I was 16, there was no social media, there was no video cameras really or anything. So I got away with being an ass and never having proof of it. There's no.
You and me both. Yeah. Like, the good old days.
Yeah, there's no like, I've got this cell phone footage of Ryan being an ass. Well, no, I just do it on YouTube now. But the point is, like, I'm glad I didn't have social media stuff back then or celebrity back then. But he's asking now, how did you escape it? I don't think, again, Niall was such a good kid. I don't think there was nothing. I don't think there was anything. But we'll see how he answers this.
Yeah.
Very different formative years to most people. We were in a bubble and we were just the circus was going into towns and leaving it. And there was people around doing stuff. We just probably had to grow up quicker. Like, as you said, you probably got to make some of your mistakes in private. I don't know if I made a ton of mistakes, but if I did them publicly, probably.
Yeah, but nobody said anything that I'm aware of.
And that's a very different thing for a 17, 18-year-old to deal with. I've always been a bit carefree and just kind of gone with it. With everything, to be honest with you.
I get that vibe from you.
Yeah, I just like, well, I'm not a bad person, I don't think.
No.
I might have made a few mistakes, fair enough, and that's that. We all do that. And I could live with that and just go on plodding along.
There's nothing scandalous there. There's nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably subconsciously, because the shielding and that we had to do, in our lives, if we wanted any sort of privacy, it probably matured you in a way that you didn't realize. And probably some parts of my emotions or whatever probably got left behind for a couple of years, and I'm probably catching up still. I don't know. We're yet to find out.
Agreed.
This is Olly, my therapist.
We're going deep. We're going deep, man.
Wait to see us in the pub.
It's good to be boring. You know what I mean? But
well, you hear about a lot of them. Like, I mean, like what? Lindsay Lohan had her thing.
Britney Spears.
Yeah, they all did. The only one I think that didn't was Hilary Duff. I think she's the only normal one that didn't have any issues. Yeah,
one of my favorite actresses. One of my favorite actresses of all time. No, not Hilary. Sorry, not.
Oh, I was like, that's surprising. She's not been in a lot, but okay. It's a pretty low bar there.
No, one of my favorite actresses of all. No, one of my favorite actresses of all time. I was a childhood actress back in the 70s, and she escaped all that kind of stuff. Jodie Foster. I love Jodie Foster.
I love Jodie Foster. Yeah, she's really good.
Highly intelligent. Highly talented and intelligent, and she was a childhood star. Nary a scandal, nothing. Yeah.
Wow, that's really interesting. I think the worst one I've seen, that I've personally seen, that I'm just like shooketh by, and I don't even know if you know who this is. I'm sure all the people in the chat will probably know. Is Amanda Bynes.
Oh, I know who she is, and I've seen. That's too bad. Yeah,
she's posting stuff still, and it is
weird,
hard to watch. She is like,
I know exactly.
My favorite movie is like She's the Man. Not my favorite movie of all time, but it's one of my favorites.
Cute.
It's so.
And she was
funny.
so cute and pretty and talented, and
no, she was amazing and so funny, and just like now, she is unrecognizable. Like she looks rough. Like her. It's just a very not to write looks, but like
she damaged herself. Unfortunate with stuff that she did to herself. It's preventable damage, if that makes sense. It's preventable damage. Yeah.
And I think it goes pretty deep. I think she was like, I don't even want to know what it's like to be in Hollywood. I would never want to be an actor for any of that because of that. Yeah. But like, I even seen her doing like kind of, I think she's like on a podcast. I just see videos in passing sometimes, but I was watching her doing this interview this one time, and it was just hard to watch, even just as other people are talking, and she's just not even there. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so sad to watch. So it's, this is completely tame compared to what we've seen. This is nothing. And this is great. And I think he's just such a wonderful human. Yeah.
I mean, he looks like he's lived. That's the thing. Like he looks like he's growing up naturally and healthy, because he hasn't damaged his body with drugs and abuse and alcohol. And
how old is he again? 30
something, maybe 32.
Okay, because that's funny, because I think that might be Mike's age.
Oh, your boyfriend?
Yeah, he's 4 years younger than me, but
that's nothing. That's nothing.
The young ones just tend to come from.
I was right. Look at that.
32. This okay? Yeah, that's
me.
Yeah, he's about that.
I'm such a One Direction nerd now. I know their ages. Oof.
There you go, Ryan.
Yeah, boy.
That's my therapy is just an over reliance on alcohol as like an emotional crutch instead of actually dealing with any of the shit in my head. Okay, so let's move on then. The actual moment 1D comes to an end. When did you realise that it was over?
There was a
When everyone left the band,
Yeah.
we were no
Ain't
longer
that the
touring,
truth?
and
About a year out, maybe less actually, probably less. It was just like, right after this run, we'll just take it easy for a bit. We were all like, as I said, there was so much done in a short period of time, and people always used to say, "Well, you're young, you can do it. You know, you're spring chickens." But for anyone, that's intense. You know, such a life shift, so much going on a different level. Yeah.
okay. I think we kind of missed the question here, or maybe I'm overthinking the question. The guy said, "When did you know One Direction was done?" So he said about a year out, because what they did, Danielle, is they took a break, a hiatus. We're just going to rest. So I think the question is really, he's saying, when did you know that One Direction is over? Because a lot of people are saying, oh, they're just on a break. They're going to come back together. And now it's actually answering the question here. It was about a year out when I realized we were no longer a band.
Oh, wow.
It's done. So I think my guess is now saying that, yeah, there was, when we first took the break, we didn't think we were going to get back together ever again. But after a year of us being on a break, it was kind of like, oh, we're never going back, because I don't think they ever officially said we're never doing it. They never made that a public statement.
Yeah.
Time showed that 1 year goes by, 2 years goes by, solo albums come out, and it's kind of like, oh, they're not going back together now.
Yeah.
So he knew a year out inside without announcing to the world, oh, I think we're done. I think we're.
And that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, right, let's slow down for a sec.
You described it as, I've seen you describe it in the past as a madness, or as madness. So what comes after madness? Is there a calm after the storm? Like, how did you spend the time immediately afterwards?
Straight away, we finished in December, and I was in Australia on January the 2nd. A cousin of mine was living down there, and he was leaving. He'd spent 5 or 6 years down there.
It was December 31st, wasn't it, your last show?
December.
What was it? New Year's Eve?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think. Oh, yeah. No, it was mid-December, I think it was, and then I was like home for Christmas, and then my cousin was leaving. He was living in Australia for 5 years in Melbourne, and he was leaving to move back, and he literally packed up his bag. He sold his golf club, sold his bed, sold his blah blah blah, and packed his whole life into one bag after 5 years. And then we met him in Australia, and then we went up through Southeast Asia, just the three of us, and just stayed in dump hotels and hostels and just had a great laugh. It was brilliant. Such a good laugh.
You found yourself?
I found myself, yeah. It was deep, man. Show you my tattoos there.
I wonder what kind of stories he shared with his friends.
Mm-hmm.
You got, so right after that hiatus, there's no way he didn't. Not saying he talked shit. That's not what I mean. But he must have told some stories to his closest friends.
Oh, yeah.
That we'll never hear. No interview will ever hear. Yeah. Because his friends would have been so, tell me about Harry. Tell me about Liam or Zayn. Like, I wonder what kind of stuff, or before people at me in the comments, maybe they didn't talk about it at all, if that makes sense. So,
yeah, maybe they didn't care.
Yeah.
Really deep. Okay. So what was it like performing for the first time
Yeah.
That's a good
by
point.
yourself?
Strange, yeah. I remember the first thing I did was Graham Norton. And I just remember like sitting in the dressing room, and usually there'd be like a period where someone's out smoking a cigarette, someone's gone to the toilet 2 seconds before we go on stage, we're now late, so I just sit in the couch and wait for it. And I remember going, I'm not waiting for anyone, I could go on my own time. Do you know what I mean? I remember that being the feeling. You know, when they call you, they're like, got 5 minutes, lads. You're like, well, he's in the toilet, he's out the back door smoking a cigarette. You know, we'll wait.
That's Louis smoking a cigarette.
I remember that being the thing, and then getting to stage and just looking around and there's less people. But apart from that, I just always trust myself as like a performer, so I just had to go and do it. But definitely different. I wouldn't say strange. I wouldn't say, just a different experience. Not really comparable.
Yeah, people were talking in our chat here about, we'd all love the tea. Look, it's normal. I have celebrities that I'm a fan of, of course. And it's always the tell-all books, as they say, or when the biography is real.
Mm-hmm.
We're always fascinated by that. It's natural.
Oh, yeah.
It's natural to be curious and fascinated about. It's like when you see a car accident, everyone looks because they want to see what happened. Who's
Yeah.
involved? Or even when cars are even less gruesome, when the cars pull over, everyone looks at the driver. Who's the, was it a young kid that got pulled over, an old lady? Like, it's natural to be curious and wonder. People who are too good for the world will say, "Oh, I don't care." Well, then you're wonderful. But most people are genuinely curious about what's happening next door, what's happening when someone's pulled over. That's why we read the news. We're always curious what's happening. And so, of course, we would love to know the stuff because there's so many stories that we'll never know.
Yeah.
The only way we'll get some of these stories if somebody from the camp does a tell-all. And it'll be unauthorized. It'll say unauthorized tell-all.
I wonder what Miranda's talking about. She said people weren't happy when Liam spilled some tea, though.
There was an interview.
Tea?
Yeah.
I not know?
No, don't spoil it because there might be a time somebody pledges that interview. But I believe Liam, before he passed, of course, I think he did an interview when he was a little bit tipsy. And because of that, I think he might have said some things a little bit loose tongue, when you have a loose tongue when you're maybe not quite sober. So
that's fair. That's fair.
I haven't, so don't tell us what he said because don't spoil it. But I think there were some, it caused some waves if I remember correctly. But yeah, but I'd be curious to hear it. I'd be curious to listen to it. But I think it was with one of the Paul brothers, I think, if I remember. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
If nobody does, I might just have to watch it on my own. If nobody does, but we'll see.
Yeah, same. Tell me if you do.
As a man
we'll just watch it together.
In fact, it turns out the exact same age as you.
Shut up.
We're born on the same day.
What?
Yeah, I know. There's multiple parallels happening here. I know. It's small world. Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
13th September.
Yeah, man.
93.
93. Yeah.
Shut.
Oh, they have the same year. Yeah. They have the same day and year. Oh, that's different.
That is so funny. Oh my goodness. How ironic.
Have you ever met anyone that has your same year and day?
Nope.
Once.
Really?
Once. Yes. It was crazy. It was a girl. It was a teenager. And I'll never forget. We were at the movies, and it was one of my friend's cousins. So we just all went to the movies, and she came. I remember she was kind of cute too, but she was like out of town cousin. So I couldn't do nothing with that. But anyways, because it was like a very brief visit. Anyways, but we're talking, just shooting the shite and sharing stuff. Oh, when's your birthday? And October. And then they said the year, and I was like, "Whoa, that's my birthday too." So I think there's a term for it. Somebody that has your same birthday year. I can't remember what it's called. But.
Yeah, it's wild. Like the closest I've ever seen, not for myself, but for Mike is our neighbor. I think they are only maybe a week or so apart, same year and everything, same month, but not the same day. And I was like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? Like how ironic that they're right next door. But yeah, never have I met anybody. It was same year, same day, same all that.
Well, put it out there. Not just joking. You'll get comments. I bet you somebody's watching that does, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't. What time were you born?
8 a.m.
7 a.m.
Oh,
an hour older, my guy.
Oh, wow.
He's an hour older.
That is nuts.
Crazy,
I've never met anyone.
That's mad.
Yeah, that's cool. So they even Niall say I've never. It's very rare. Even Niall, of all the people he's met, all the people that Niall's met, he's saying right now here, I've never met anyone with my same. Yeah, so that's how rare it is.
Wow.
So, like I said, I've done it once. I've only done it once myself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On the 13th.
Yeah. Anyway, so what I was.
You got a much stronger beard than I'd ever be able to pull off.
You're laying on thick now.
I can't grow beard.
I appreciate it. But what I was going to say was, mate, like I think about myself and how I conceive of myself and my career, and I think I'm 29. I reckon my peak is in my future. Mm-hmm. And in your situation, reaching the heights that you reached in one direction, to then go solo and.
We've talked about this. Of course, sorry. Is that they have peaked. The only person who broke that was Harry.
Fair.
It's just the reality. I mean, they're getting great draws, great crowds, Madison Square Garden, but we're talking worldwide ticket sales. Like I think the only one who's replicated it to any degree was Harry.
Fair.
Yeah.
Kind of be standing on that cliff. I just imagine the pressure. And that can either manifest itself as a really heavy pressure or possibly also as an anxiety. And to hear you describe you playing for the first time like that, I would have thought there'd be this, crazy burden on your shoulders. I don't know.
I think if the song was shite, I would have been a bit more nervous. And that's the God's honest
yourself.
truth.
Yeah.
Good song. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I remember writing it, going, "All right, this will do for now. This might get me somewhere." It's a lot easier to stand up on the stage when you've written a good one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think so.
fair.
Yeah. But no, there definitely was like I just had to trust in what I thought I was good at, which is writing tunes and performing, and I felt like I could just keep doing it. Luckily enough, I had the fan base there, so I knew I wasn't
Built-in
walking into
fan
a dark
base, yeah.
room. You know, it was going to be.
I like that honest answer. That's
somewhat,
good.
strong. And then thankfully I've had a couple of songs that have done well, and I've been able to play do some amazing stuff. But there was definitely a period of like, geez, I need to get it right first time around. There's probably no second go at this. I'll just be forgotten about. But I didn't think about that too much, to be honest. That would have been a very easy hole to fall into.
So
I am nothing without this. I just trust in myself.
Why?
And I think I know he didn't say it, but I bet you if he were to rephrase the question, I don't know how you do. I don't want to lead the witness, Your Honor, but I think it's okay to peak already and just enjoy doing the music and people show up. I don't think he has to top what he I'm talking about the crowds that they drew, night after night. I think it's almost easier to some degree to be like, I'm okay with smaller, intimate type venues and crowds and tours. I think there's something different to that, and especially when they're all there just for you. Vice sharing the stage with 4 other guys, like, oh, they're really here just for me. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't know. I feel like there's probably that pressure though. You know what I mean? Well, I would imagine there would probably feel like a huge pressure on your shoulders. And like he said, he doesn't want to be forgotten. He doesn't want to go to the stage. Like
he's back to playing bars.
Right?
Natural. He's ruled the world, so to speak, with the band. Like it would be kind of depressing where he's like, oh, I'm playing at the state fair in Iowa. in between a hot dog eating contest. Yeah. Yeah.
So why do you think you didn't fall into that hole then? Where's that? I guess you'd say self-belief, but obviously you've been incredibly successful, so you would believe in yourself, right? I guess. But.
Yeah, I don't know. You can't really put your finger on it. You can just roll with the punches, and I trusted that I had a decent album, and I worked with similar people, and I knew what I wanted to write about, and it was all kind of there in front of me, and I had to just kick the ball into the goal. Thankfully, I did, and the fan base is a massive part of that. Like being able to go around the world, is helpful.
It's awesome.
It's cool, it is. It's amazing that I can go most places in the world and play a gig. It's phenomenal. I realize how lucky I am, but having that, knowing that helps. As I said, I'm not walking into a dark room. People will listen. It's now about gathering momentum and still doing that, to be honest with you. It's still like 3 albums in and a pandemic later. You're still trying always. It's so competitive out there. Yeah. You're competing again. I'm really competitive with myself about writing the next best song, and then there's the other singers that are out there competing with you, and you're trying to
And your old bandmates, I guess.
Yeah, and them boys as well. But there's no we're very good at that. We're not because if we all made the same type of music, then maybe I'd say there would be like a silent kind of dig here and there. But we're very good with each other. It's like,
yeah, they do. We've mentioned that where they all had their own sound to a certain degree. Very even Harry. Well, all of them have Zayn not so much, but Harry, Niall, and Louis have a lot of Venn diagram, but kind of, I wouldn't say rock and roll, but just upbeat instrumental type songs, like rock for sure, especially Louis and some of his stuff, especially when you hear it live. You haven't heard some of the Harry Styles stuff, but he has some like rockers that are just like good old, but at the same time, all very different soundscapes. You're not listening. You very much know when you're hearing a Harry song versus a Louis song versus a Niall song. Versus a Zayn song. They're all very different. So they're not like, let's just say they were all rappers. I know, just making a simple analogy, and they were all rappers by trade. Then to be like, they're kind of competing because we're all rapping, but they all have different sounds with their bands. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. which is good. Like I personally,
I love it.
I think that Niall has like such a beautiful talent, though. Like I like that he did like we watched that that live that he did on whatever platform that was, and just watched how he thinks and how he just will start playing and all that. I think that's like extreme talent. I loved watching that, to be honest.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Niall is fantastic live. Yeah, I mean they're all very talented live, but we've got a special place in our heart for Niall.
Niall, he's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you watched Capaldi's Netflix doc?
Oh, here's Lewis
Capaldi. Got around to it, actually. But I'm also very good friends with him and aware of
what he's gone through, right?
Yeah.
So okay, what I'm coming at it from.
I feel like if have you watched Nathan's documentary about his life? No, but I suspect I might even be in it. Like that's exactly how it. Like Niall's laughing. Like I don't know what the documentary's going to tell me about Nathan that I don't already know.
That's actually freaking hilarious to think about.
Is I've watched an hour and a half of Netflix. You actually have being his friend, so you've got a much better idea of what I'm about to talk about than I do. But I was watching that, and I just, his extraordinary success and the way it kind of manifests and then morphs into this incredibly heavy burden and the pressure it put him under. And I wonder what maybe not the point of difference. Maybe there is a point of difference between the two of you. I don't know, but the way you've handled that pressure, why is it different? And then I guess because you're mates, if you wouldn't mind talking a little bit about how you've kind of helped him and spoken to him about, I guess, your experience and how maybe that can inform how he's dealing with it.
Yeah, I think there are similarities. Two working class lads, two Celtic boys, spring to fame, like Michael Richards once said. What did he say? What did he say? And Roy Keane said to him, what was his line? A shot onto the scene or something like that. Yeah. I know, but you know what I mean. There are a lot of similarities.
Did you see Roy Keane just saying "baby" the other day?
No,
I can't remember who it was. It was a player. This player. So he goes, "He's just a baby. He's just a baby." And then there's a pause, and he goes, "Baby," and they all collapse in laughter. It was unreal, absolutely unreal.
Nonsense. It's a baby. No, there are definitely similarities. Myself and Capaldi. Like the second I met him, we were just straight in, like good mates. Like I don't have a lot of, I don't particularly want any, but there's a lot of, I think a lot of people think that famous people are all friends with famous people. Not necessarily the case. There's a lot of arseholes.
They just have access to them.
And me and Capaldi just happened to get on very well the minute we met, and similar taste in music, like a few pints, have a bit of a laugh, and we get on very well. And we'll have that similarity where we just it happened very fast for him. Like 1 minute he's just throwing a couple of YouTube videos, and then he's playing arenas. Or I just went to watch him in Atlanta, Georgia last week. Like he's an international star of his own. And that happened very quick for him, with great music. So we've definitely have that in common. Like I spoke to him the other day. He was in tour in Toronto, and we were just shooting the shit and talking about like what it's like on the road and how long he's got left and how he's enjoying the shows, and we chat about that kind of stuff. And then we've had some darker conversations too, obviously, because that's what friends do. But I've always felt like I've been there for him. He used to ask me like questions early on about this and that, and I just helped wherever I could. But I can't. That's his anxieties and his mental health is something I obviously can't control. But I'll be there to calm him if I can. He's obviously got great parents, as you can see, and they're just brilliant with him and all his mates, and he's got good folk around him. And we do have a lot in common, and I can help him wherever I can. I'm no genius either. There's no book for it really, is there? But you just have to. I know a little bit.
Well, how lucky for both of them, but I think maybe a little bit more for Lewis. A little bit that he has Niall kind of as a friend supporter. Not to say, I'm just saying, I think the little that we know about Lewis and the things he struggles with and things like that, it's nice that he has somebody like Niall who seems to be pretty stable, confident, big in the business too, who's been around the block, who can give him that advice of fame and navigating that and working with the record companies and Yeah, it's really good for Lewis, I think, to have
Oh,
Niall as a friend.
100%. That's awesome.
And I think Lewis just makes Niall laugh. So I think that's the trade-off there.
Yeah.
Be a mate to him, yeah. Do you think, I just picked up on that then, you talked about his friends from home, right? And they are just they're his mates, right? They're his mates from before he was famous.
Yeah.
Do you think there's something to be said for that about, I guess, being friends with normal people, staying grounded?
Normal like us.
Just because I guess the pressure in your life, it can manifest in different ways. Maybe it's because you feel this pressure of success. Maybe it's pressure to pay your electricity bill. There's commonality there. And actually staying in touch with, not losing your mates because you think, oh, I'm better than them or whatever deluded thing some people get into their heads. But actually keeping that support network and friendship circle can be so useful for anyone from like a mental health perspective.
Oh,
right?
there's no doubt. Yeah, fact. Like I don't really have many new friends. I don't particularly.
Hey, now if you need a friend that's normal, you can hit me up. Actually, maybe I'm not very normal, but who's not a celebrity, you know? And I'm older too. I could give you some life wisdom too, you know? Especially if you have a kid. I can help you with the kid knowledge.
I don't think he does yet. But
No, I don't think he has any children. I don't think so. I think the only one that did was Louis. That's it. Oh, Zayn, of course, duh. So 3 of them do, actually. 3 of them.
Oh,
Zayn.
really? Wow.
I think Zayn is 1. Louis is obviously at least 1 each. I don't think any of them have more than 1. Let me know about that if somebody has more than 1. Yeah. But Niall doesn't have any, I don't think, and neither does Harry.
Okay.
That we know about. Wink, wink. I hate when people do that. That's such a stupid hack.
Need them or want them. All of my mates are from home, and like some lads have moved to London or whatever, and we spend a bit of time there too. But all of my mates, my best mate, he moved to America for work, and we live together still. And since I've known him since I was 4, we went to primary school together. It's just it happened that way, and I'm glad it does. You know, it's like it's very important. I think, you know, they're off doing their jobs. Like one of Lewis's mates is just like a grave digger.
Okay, Daniel.
And his other mate works in finance.
You okay?
The other fellow works in.
Oh, good.
No, I would feel like we should have like a disclaimer. Danielle's not bored. She has sleeping disorders.
Yeah, I just have a sleeping problem. I'm always tired.
This is funny.
I can't help it. I try so hard to fight it, and I'm like, why won't it just stop? Like I said, I'll be in the middle of a good intense workout, and I'll be like, oh, and then I'll be like, oh, you know, and like,
no, it's okay. People that I don't know if you have do you have chronic fatigue? Have you been diagnosed or is it just bad sleeping? Just
bad sleeping right now, and also it doesn't help right now. I'm taking sleeping pills, and they're pretty high, but then they make me wake up really groggy. You know what I mean? So then I feel like this the rest of the day. So it's just
And you're also you're also an alcoholic, so I understand that. You're not supposed to mix drink. You're not supposed to mix alcohol with drinking pills. Or sorry,
I didn't know that.
All right, I just want people to like. We should have a little. If you see Danielle yawn, she has sleeping
I know.
issues.
I'm sorry. I'm not bored. I'm just.
No, it's funny.
Recruitment, and then my mates are, working property, and like there's
normal lads.
Just normal lads doing, but it's all very relative. Like it's not like I'm going around going. I don't pretend. I don't tend to talk about work a lot in front of them, to be honest, because like it's just,
Most people don't. I don't know. Like, there's that classic thing of like you get down. Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. And then you're just like off talking about some absolutely nonsense thing. You know what I mean?
Literally, by the way.
It's like, a gravedigger as well. I'd love to. You saying, I don't need any new friends. I would love to become friends with a gravedigger because I'd just be fascinated by that, man.
Yeah,
that's extraordinary.
He's a great lad as well. But there's.
You okay? Someone at the door? Somebody at the door? You okay?
I don't know. I just keep hearing something, and he's on my lap here, and he's like, "What the heck is that?" So I was just like, "What?"
We're gonna have to.
No, we're almost done.
Watch a home invasion on camera. That's scary. Do I have your permission to post it for clicks?
Yes.
Okay, sweet.
Please do.
All right. Because that'd be like, on YouTube, home invasion on TikTok. Oh boy. Yeah.
Get all the views.
Yeah. I'll react to it.
You should.
Oh
Um, yeah, I think it is important. If it's not like it's not like we're like I'm trying to keep in touch with my my old life. It's not like that. It's just that's the way it is.
Just doing my bit for the community.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not trying to like keep myself down to earth by forcing relationships with old friends, but no, I definitely like. Nah, that's just the way it is. We're all still have the same interests in sport and drinking, and they're the commonalities.
Always. Would you do it all again?
Well,
If you had the choice.
Go next.
16-year-old you
yeah,
says this is where you'll end up.
yeah.
You get a choice. You can do it. You can't. You go somewhere else some other way.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. Yeah. I've had a very good experience of it.
There you go.
I'm sure there are
like
you hear horror stories, don't you?
You didn't hesitate. Oh, I'll do it again.
Mad horror story, but you do hear horror stories of they weren't looked after or they fell into a hole. Or, like
we did.
this.
Yeah,
But
we have.
I just don't know whether it's a character thing or the way it was brought up, or I don't know. But I think
it's a bit of everything. I think it's the way you're brought up. I think it's just your own personal integrity, fortitude. Unfortunately, not everyone is fit to be popular. That's the other thing. Not everyone's fit for this. It's like any job. Like I'm not fit to be a doctor or surgeon. Doesn't make me a bad person or a failure because I'm not a doctor. Not everyone's fit for celebrity. Not everyone's fit to be a singer, to be on stage, to be a star. And some people. So unfortunately, within the X Factor world, there are people that suffered from it. So it's not. That's what he's kind of saying. It's like it doesn't make the show bad because people had mental health issues or felt. I'm in the military. Here's a good example. And we do what's called basic training or drill school or whatever you call it in the States, boot camp. We call it basic training in Canada, boot camp in the States. But the point is, it's not everyone's cut out for it. But so when I was an instructor, I used to teach it. I used to be a drill instructor. And I would see students, recruits quit. And and they'd feel heartbroken. They'd be like, I'm like, no. You're not a failure. This isn't for you. That's all that means. It's not. You didn't fail.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. So I'm just a dumb drill instructor. But that doesn't make me successful or you a failure. Like this it didn't work. The whole point of it is it didn't work out for you. So X Factor is like a boot camp. It's just not for everybody. And so yeah.
Fair.
just really loved all of it. I'm like. Yeah, there's relative days where you're just a bit like, oh, fuck this, but we all have that. But I just love the madness. I wouldn't change much at all. Actually, I wouldn't change a thing.
There you go.
You learn from the mistakes and you go at it again. And I mean, the perks of what I do is just incredible. So I'm one of the very lucky few over the decades to be able to do what we do. So
no, it's good. I'm glad you recognize that.
I wouldn't change a thing.
No, thank you so much for taking the time.
Olly. Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Really appreciate it, mate. Thank you.
All right. Hey, good interview, Olly. Olly, you're good. I had nothing to say about Olly. That's rare. That's very rare for you, actually. Very much. Yep. He was good. I enjoyed his questions. I thought there were some good questions. He listened. It wasn't annoying. Didn't make the interview about himself. So thanks, Olly. Everyone thank Olly for giving a great interview. And of course, thank Niall for being such a gentleman, of course. And he's such a sweetheart of a guy, nice guy, level-headed, down to earth. And I also like his honest answers. I like how he said, I like my life. I can't complain. I'm in a good spot. And he seems to be in a good spot too, where he gets to do what he loves, which is music. But he also gets to go to the pub every now and then without being swarmed. So it sounds like he's in a good place right now. So I'm happy to hear that. Yeah. Yeah. Well. What are your any closing thoughts before you say the end? Not really. We kind of talked through the whole thing. I love Niall. I still love Niall. I love him more and more as we continue to watch him. And I'm really interested in that spill the tea interview that we heard about, though. I'm nosy. I know. I think we might be getting it. I don't know. I think we'll stand by for that. But for now, if you want to give us something to react to, check out the link below on how to make that happen. It's in the video description on YouTube. It says link or click on this link, whatever it is, to get reactions to us. Okay. Well, the end.
As I've been sitting here considering my options, the multitude of thoughts that have been perpetrated in this conversation, the conclusion that I have drawn is that there is no other alternative except for me to get the hell out of here.